Static. It's not silence. It's signal distortion. I see repetitive rhetoric, recycled narratives packaged as perspective but lacking in merit. It's decorated messaging, engineered edits where truth gets buried beneath aesthetic genetics. Synthetic impressions, they're pressing perception. Direction is set but they question the question. Selective attention, neglecting reflection, so nobody notices subtle deception. It's a loop, scroll, stop, stare and repeat the consumption. Function corrupted, the mind's in reduction from critical thinking to passive assumption. And I've been there, thumb moving without any conscious instruction. Time getting siphoned in silent construction of habits that hollow the depth of discussion. Algorithmic conditioning, vision is prison within the system that shifts how you think and you listen. Precision, decision, division of wisdom. They give you the image but strip the definition. Attention's a currency currently spent on temporary trends that were never intent to better your mental, just render you bent so you measure your worth by irrelevant metrics. Numbers replacing the name. Where values attached to a digital scale and truth gets diluted when fiction prevails. Conditioned to follow what's instantly held instead of examining what's been unveiled. It's frail, a framework designed to divide and distract. Keep the surface reactive, the depth never tapped. If thinking is effort, they lessen the task. So questioning fades and acceptance adapts. Static ain't empty. It's crowded with noise you stop questioning. Yeah. Scroll mode, man's locked in, yeah? Wake up, no stretch, straight check that screen. Eyes half open but the thumb's still keen. Man ain't brushed teeth but he's scrolling his feed. That's morning routine in the digital dream. It's peak, man said quick look, that's lost in the zone. 2 hours deep but you're still on your phone. Same dead clips but it feels like home. Cause silence hits different when you're on your own. Tap, swipe, scroll, man, loop that cycle. Mind on spin like a disc on a vinyl. Idle but feeling productive, that's viral. Structured distraction designed for survival. Notifications buzzing, man thinking it's urgent. Nothing important but still feel the burden. Constant alerts got your focus diverted. Now real life's blurry but online certain. Scroll, man don't even know. Time gets spent but it don't reload. Tap, tap, swipe, that's all man knows. Real life pause while the screen just flows. Scroll, stuck in the code. Mind gets trapped but it feels like control. Eyes on the phone but you're losing your soul. Man said stop but you won't let go. Man scrolling through reels while their real life fades. Man know every trend but can't face their ways. Man chatting online like they're running the game, but face to face they ain't saying a thing. It's mad. You follow them man but don't follow yourself. Man hype up strangers but neglect their health. Man flex online but they're stressed in stealth. All chasing approval instead of their wealth. Now it's deeper. Attention's a currency spent with no limit. Every second you give, they're stacking their digits. You think it's your choice, but the system's been written to keep you engaged till your focus is finished. Algorithmic patterns adapt to your habits, tracking your actions, reacting in fragments, feeding you data that strengthens the pattern till thinking for self becomes harder to manage. Imagine living your life through a curated lens where everything's filtered to fit in the trend, comparing your start to another man's end and wondering why you ain't feeling content. That ain't coincidence, that's design. Man said I'm bored, so he scrolls again. Same loop running, no goals again. Time getting spent, no growth again. But tomorrow he'll do the same, no change. Funny thing is, man knows it's mad. Still won't stop, that's the coldest trap. Freedom's there, but it don't feel that when comfort's wrapped in a dopamine bag. Scroll, man don't even know. Time gets spent, but it don't reload. Tap, tap, swipe, that's all man knows. Real life pause while the screen just flows. Scroll, stuck in the code. Mind gets trapped but it feels like control. Eyes on the phone but you're losing your soul. Man said stop but he won't let go. Ghost town vibes, bare people, no presence, just screams. Look close. Not everything moving is choosing to move. Yeah. Yeah. Subtle suggestion embedded in methods of messaging. Lessons are less about truth, more selective impression. Impressing perceptions through patterns of passive acceptance, till questioning questions gets labeled as reckless and stressing. It's delicate. Threads are invisible, tension is minimal. Nothing feels forced when the force is subliminal. Given a narrative, living it literal. Thinking it's freedom, but really it's ritual. Repetition, conditioning, cognition. Position within it, convinced of your vision. Decisions you think are original, driven or filtered through frames that were placed from beginning. Man thinks he's choosing, but choices constructed. Options are offered, but all of them function inside a design where the lines are instructed. So stepping outside it feels strange or corrupted. Corrupted perception, adjusted acceptance, reduction of depth in reflected expression. You question the question, they question your question, till silence replaces the urge for inspection. Systemic string and persistent position, and lifting your limits through subtle conditioning. Hidden in plain sight, written as insight, giving us guidance, but shaping your listen. Precision decisions are silently shifted, drifting your thinking to fit in positions. Vision restricted to pre-written prisms, living within what you think you've been given. But never designed by you. But never designed by you. Yeah. But never designed by you. Stage set, same script, different actor. Voice sounds free, but it's tuned by a factor. Every reaction mapped to the track a man plays his role, never questions the chapter. It's mad. You think you're the author, you're stuck in a draft, living a part that was written in halves, living a script and you fill in the gaps, thinking it's yours cause it fits where you're at. That's the illusion. Confusion is used as a form of control. Overload senses then dulling the soul, flooding with noise till the silence was cold. So man avoids depth and just sticks to the scroll. Now watch how it flips. Influence moves without needing permission, hidden in rhythm and repetition. Different doses that mimic intuition till what you resist becomes part of your vision. Man defends it, argues a point he never constructed, trusting assumptions he never adjusted. Lost but he's given, ignores what he's missing, dismisses the thought that he thought was instructed. Calculated calibration of conscious alignment, guiding your time and designing compliance. Silently shaping the state of your mind with layers of language disguised as enlightenment. Internalizing external directives, framing perspectives through selective specific generalized views with intentional limits. Still thinking outside, it feels almost forbidden. It's intricate. Minimal friction, habitual system, digital rhythms, conditioning instinct, giving permission to live in a prison that mimics a vision of limitless living. Man thinks he's woke, but he's woke in a box. Man talks truth, but is borrowed from blocks. Man moves free, but he's stuck in a plot where the path's been paved and the options are locked. His peak free will framed in a fixed set of choices. Loudest opinions are usually voices, echoing echoes with minimal poise, while silence gets labeled as lacking a voice. Silence is where it breaks. Yeah. See, stillness reveals what the noise tries to bury. Clarity comes when the mind ain't in hurry. When you step back from the pattern they carry, you see every move ain't as random as any. Heavy weight of awareness ain't like to maintain. Once you see strings, you can't unsee the frame. Every interaction starts feeling the same, like watching a play that keeps changing its name, but never the script. Same structure, same cycle, repeating, same system, subtly competing for space in your mind to get focus depleted. And thinking for self is eventually deleted. No strings visible. Still, everything moves. no, 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 no. Numbers over, numbers over. Yeah. Man grew up thinking worth was a number you earn. Grades on a page, then the wage you can turn. Figures on paper, the digits you learn. Like life's only real when the profit returns. It's mad, from young it was prove it, show what you're worth. Never who are you, just what can you earn. So man built self from a score and a grade, not the soul in his chest or the name he was birthed. And that cuts deep, cause pressure gets dressed as ambition. Then ambition gets twisted to fit the system. You chase recognition, they call it a vision, but half of the time it's a quiet submission. Man learns quick, better stack, better climb. Better look fine while you're cracking inside. Better don't fall, better stay in line. Better turn pain into something that shines. But at what point did the number replace the name? At what point did the mirror start feeling strange? Numbers over names, names over pain. Man lose self tryna play that game. Views don't heal and the likes don't stay. Still man chase what fades away. Numbers over names, names over pain. Gold on the screen but the soul feels drained. If I lose myself for a little bit of fame, tell me, who's really winning that game? I can't lie, I got caught in it too. Comparing my path to the things that I view. Man sees highlights and thinks it's the truth, then questions his life like he's losing his root, his peak. You don't see nights where they're breaking inside. Don't see doubts that they bury with pride. Just perfect smiles and a perfect angle, carefully placed so the pain can hide. Posting a moment, then checking reactions. Watching the numbers, adjusting my actions. Losing the line between truth and performance, cause everything's judged by the scale of attraction. That's dangerous. Man starts moving for people he don't know, chasing the glow that don't warm his soul. Building a version the world can hold, while the real one's dying when nobody goes. Worth ain't numbers, but numbers define it. That's how they design it, align it, refine it. So man sees self as a stat on the screen and forgets there's a soul that exists behind the income, outcomes, views and reach. Counting your value by data they keep. But what's it worth if you lose who you are, trying to become what the system can teach? Numbers over names, names over pain. Man lose self tryna play that game. Views don't heal and the likes don't stay. Still man chase what fades away. Numbers over names, names over pain. Gold on the screen but the soul feels drained. If I lose myself for a little bit of fame, tell me, who's really winning? See names turn numbers when pressure replies. Man forgets truth when he's chasing the highs. The higher you climb, the more you divide the person you are from the image you drive. And it's mad cause you can have everything they say you should want. Money, attention, the life that they flaunt. Still feel empty when silence arrives, cause none of it filled what you thought that it would. Man said be yourself, but not too loud, not too strange, not too proud, not too real, not too free. Just enough self to fit with the crowd. That line hits different, cause they sell confidence wrapped in control. Tell you be unique, then package the mold. Tell you stand out, but only if so. Tell you dream big, then price tag your soul. Quantify living, divided decisions, driven by digits that distort your vision. Living for metrics instead of your mission. Conditioned to think that your value is written in numbers. Followers, income, comments and streams. Rankings, ratings, targets and schemes. But they all can't measure the weight of a dream or the pain in a man when he's losing his peace. So I step back,
had to question the way I was seeing.
What am I gaining? And what am I feeding it? Is it my purpose?
Saw something repeating
so many times that I think that I'm needing it. Numbers over names, names over pain. Man lose self trying to play that game. Views don't heal and the likes don't stay. Still man chase what fades away. Numbers over names, names over pain. Gold on the screen but the soul feels drained. If I lose myself for a little bit of fame, tell me, who's really winning that game? Numbers fade, names stay. Just don't forget yours. It started small, barely noticeable shifts, little changes in language, adjusting the script. Things that felt wrong now get laughed at as jokes, till the joke ain't a joke and you're part of the script. It's so gradual shifts in accepted behavior, label it progress, suppressing the nature of questioning anything slightly irregular. Now it's normal, but normal feels stranger. Man used to react, now he scrolls and absorbs. Things that would shock him don't shock him no more. Repeated exposure, it goes the response till nothing feels wrong even when it's warped. That's how it works. Desensitized senses, defensive responses. You question the shift and they question your logic. Now you're the problem for pointing it out, so silence becomes how the pattern stays locked in. Incremental change in a staged adaptation, gradual erosion of moral foundations, normalization through constant narration till madness is framed as a formal progression. It's mad cause man will defend what he wants will reject, argue a stance that he never reflects on how it was formed or why he accepts, just follows the flow that he's constantly fed. Madness, but nobody calls it that. Look, boundaries blur when the lines keep shifting. Truth gets bent till the facts feel distant. Language flips so the meaning's different. Now wrong gets framed as a different opinion. It's twisted. You say what you see, now you're labeled extreme. Stay quiet, you're safe, that's the unspoken scheme. So man either bends or pretends he agrees, while knowing inside that it's not what it seems. Pressure applied through collective reaction. Step out of line, now you're facing distraction. Not with debate, but dismissal and label. So man stop speaking to keep the peace stable. But built on the fragile acceptance of things that were once seen as clearly excessive. Now everything's blurred in a fog of perspective, where truth gets replaced by whatever's effective. Distortion of thought through enforced adaptation, reinforced by repetitive mass validation. Conversation gets shaped into narrow locations when nuance is lost in extreme declarations. Polarized positions, divided decisions, driven by narratives lacking precision, given in fragments to limit the vision till clarity fades into constant confusion. Makes control easier. See, once it's normal, it's harder to see, harder to question, harder to leave. If everyone's moving in sync with the shift, then stepping away feels like breaking the scene in its peak. Cause man might notice but won't say a word. Fear of the label was louder than truth, so silence grows while the pattern repeats. And madness just settles, disguised as the usual. Nothing changed overnight. That's why nobody noticed. Nothing changed overnight. Yo, no. Look, every week it's a fresh distraction. Same old pattern, different reaction. Big news drops, then it's gone in a flash. Next trend lands with a louder attraction. Man can't focus, fractured attention. Timeline packed with tactical tension. One thing starts, then the next gets mentioned. Truth gets drowned in excessive extension. It's mad, man argue topics they barely read. Fast little takes with no clarity. Headline hype, instant energy. No depth, just surface severity. Quick to react, slow to research. Loud in the net, but the facts get reversed. Everyone's certain, nobody checks first. And truth gets buried where the noise gets dispersed. One thing trending, next thing buried. Serious issues get lost in a frenzy. Feet keep spinning, pace too heavy by the time man clocks it, the moment's empty. And that's how it runs. And that's how it runs. Flash, clash, panic, then vanish. New outrage lands in the last, gets damaged. Public attention gets packaged and managed. Man don't see how the focus gets vanished. Distraction season, man don't even see it. Everything loud but nobody's reading. Switch that topic, repeat then delete it. Man stay scrolling while truth gets defeated. Distraction season, rinse and repeat it. Outrage quick but it don't get completed. New headline, now the last one's deleted. Cycle spins and nobody sees it. Information overload, minimal retention. Critical thought gets lost in attention. Quick fire clicks controlling perception. Short attention span kills comprehension. Man think they know but they don't go deep. Skim the surface, scroll then speak. Confidence loud but the knowledge is weak. That's how confusion spreads in a feed is peak. Man's got passion but no foundation. Reaction dressed up as education. Opinions formed by a cop quotation and spread like facts through my circulation. Facts get flattened, context missing. Truth gets twisted in clip transmission. Nuance dies in the noise of division. Now everyone's loud but nobody listens. Slow it down. Now watch how it works. Big situation, but no one stays long enough to see how it plays. Attention shifts in a couple of days, then something new comes taking its place. That ain't random, that's rhythm, that's timing, that's pressure applied while the public's divided. Calculated chaos, crafted commotion, flooding the feed with emotional motion. Focus conceptual? Nah, it's structured.
Everything times so the truth gets ruptured. Man gets pulled in 100 directions so nothing gets seen with full perception.
Distraction season, man don't even see it. Everything loud but nobody's reading. Switch that topic, repeat then delete it. Man stay scrolling while truth gets defeated. Distraction season, rinse and repeat it. Outrage quick but it don't get completed. New headline, now the last one's deleted. Cycle spins and nobody sees. Man said stay woke but he's barely awake. Jumps on a wave every minute it breaks. Talks like he knows but it's all second hand. Built off a headline he read on his break. It's peak, man reacting but never reflecting. Speaking with force but lacking direction. Quick to engage but slow with correction. That's how confusion turns into infection. And I ain't saying stay silent or passive. I'm same thing before joining the traffic. Not every trend needs your mind as a captive. Not every headline deserves your reaction. Real talk, too much noise, not enough thought. Too many opinions, not enough source. Too many people get dragged off course, then wonder why truth don't land with force. Too much noise.
Not enough thought. Too much movement. Not enough mind.
Distraction season, man don't even see it. Everything loud but nobody's reading. Switch that topic, repeat then delete it. Man stay scrolling while truth gets defeated. Distraction season, rinse and repeat it. Outrage quick but it don't get completed. New headline, now the last one's deleted. Cycle spins and nobody sees it. Distraction season. A man's fully in it.
Took a step back from the noise, let it fade a bit. Everything loud, but none of it made me rich. Not money, I mean in the mind. Cause I was chasing things that were wasting my time. It's mad how man can be active but going nowhere. Caught in a cycle, just floating, no care. Thinking it's life, but it's mostly a loop till you sit in the silence and notice it's there. That gap between who you are and what you became. Built off pressure, perception and chasing a name. Or chasing a number or chasing a place that don't even matter when stripped from the frame. I had to question what I was feeding. What am I seeing? What am I believing? Is it my thoughts or something repeated so many times that it feels like I need it? Truth is, most of my stress wasn't mine to begin. Picked up ideas, let them settle within. Started living like I had something to prove to people that never were watching me win. That's when it clicked. That's when it clicked. Freedom ain't loud, it's actually still. It's knowing yourself without needing to build an image or version that fits in a space that only exists if you give it your will. And I did. Gave too much time to a screen and a feed. Too much attention to things I don't need. Too much energy chasing approval from people who never knew anything deep as Pete. But I can't lie, it taught me a lot. Made me reflect on the person I'm not. Showed me the difference between what is real and what's just a role that I played in a plot. Now I see clearly the noise and control. It's what you accept that takes hold of your soul. You don't need to fight it, just don't engage. And suddenly everything starts to dissolve. Man don't need much when he knows who he is. Not what he earns or the life that he lives. Not what he posts or the things that he gets. But how he exists when there's nothing to give, that's it. No pressure to prove, no need to compare. No chasing a moment that isn't even there. Just present aware and calm in the mind while everything else just fades in the air. Unplugged. Not from the world, from the noise. That's where you'll find yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do feeds, I do feet on the road. Big man chat, but it's borrowed and quoted. They want smoke for the screen and the gram. I want peace with my tea and my fam. You be scrolling for clout, I be strolling through doubt. Seen the whole thing peak, then it ironed itself out. They worship the loop, I don't circle no queue. If it's fed through a feed, I ain't feeding it too. Man talk brand like it's law and religion. I'm more cash in the hand with a calm disposition. I don't need your approval, I'm cool with the weather, man. Out of the matrix, I made mine better. Got the mind of a monk, got the grin of a crook. Put a lesson in the verse and a hook in the look. If it's all for the likes, then your life got a price. Mine's out on the table, still sharp like a knife. Let untap, let trend. I don't bend, I just spend time on the lane where the real ones roam. No blue tick, still I built my home. Out the loop, out the loop. I don't move for the crew. Out the loop, out the loop. Still I stare, still I cool. Out the loop, out the loop. Mind clean, spirit too. Out the loop, out the loop. Free man, that's my truth. They got opinions on tap like a pub with a crowd. Every man in the comments getting loud, loud, loud. I don't give in my soul just to fit in the fold. I'd rather be broke in the lane and controlled by the code. See the whole scene split by a flick of a thumb. Half the room get numb while the other go dumb. I keep both eyes open, still focused on bread. Not a puppet for the panic that they pump in your head. They sell dreams in the frame with a filtering gloss, but the rent's still due when the glamour gets lost. Man, all vibes till the bill come in, and it's back to the real where the pressure begin. I got old school patience, new school pace. One eye on the path, one on the chase. If they clone my lane, I'll just switch the tune. Got a rude little grin and a bigger left brain. Unplug me, unplug YD. Still I sleep while the headlines weep. Whole world moving like it's on repeat. I found my rhythm in the back street. Out the loop, out the loop. I don't move for the group. Out the loop, out the loop. Still I stare, still I cool. Out the loop, out the loop. My clean spirit too. Out the loop, out the loop. Free man, that's my truth. No chase, no bait, no fake applause. I made my lane from the cracks and flaws. Out the loop, but I move with ease. Free in my head and that's all I need.
Yeah. Yo. Yeah. 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 Program minds in a pattern society. Man panic in silence but smile for variety. Private anxiety, public sobriety. Everything's loud but there's no real inquiries. Mad, man move militant, mimicking millions. Digital citizens clicking opinions. Living in systems that limit decisions. Then call it freedom cause nobody listens. I clock that quick, had to step back different. Mind too active, I can't act ignorant. Truth ain't sweet when the facts start hitting, but lies feel warm when the crowd sits with them. Listen, they sell you a dream with a payment plan, then call you broke if you chase who you am. Man trade soul for a name and a brand, then wonder why peace never came in his hand. Scroll more static, strings on the wrist. Numbers over names, that's a cold little twist. Madness gets normal when the morals get missed. And distraction season comes and buries the list. That's the whole map fam, check the design. Feed gets flooded when you question a line. Man gets labeled when he sharpens his mind. So most stay quiet and pretend that it's fine. Program minds, program minds. They want your eyes, they don't want your mind. Program minds, program minds. Break that code, step out that line. Program minds, program minds. They sell you noise and they tax your time. Program minds, program minds. Wake up once, you can't rewind. Calculated chaos came carefully coded. Clarity buried where fear gets promoted. Focused on fiction, the facts get corroded. Man stay plugged in while the truth gets ghosted. Systematic scripting, subtle submission. Subliminal signals disguised as tradition. Repetition rewires recognition till wrong feels right by familiar condition. That's deep, man's mind gets mine while he calls it relaxing. Thumb keeps tapping, the pattern keeps tracking. Attention gets taxed without anyone asking. And sold back cheap as a lifestyle package. Package the panic, polish the prison. Give it a filter and call it ambition. Make man compete for a fake definition of value, then laugh when he loses his vision. It's peak. Everybody's rich in opinions and poor in reflection. Loud with a pulse but low in perception. Quick to correct with no self-correction. Lost in a crowd but they call it connection. Connection? Nah, that's contact without presence. Noise without message. Motion without essence. Life turn lesson but nobody checks it. Man knows the trends but forgets his direction. Knows every scandal but not his intention. Knows who's famous, who's cancelled his mention. but can't sit still with his own reflection.
Program minds, program minds.
They want your eyes, they don't want your mind.
Program minds, program minds.
Break that code, step out that line.
Program minds, program minds.
They sell you noise and they tax your time.
Program minds, program minds.
Wake up once, you can't rewind. I'm not saying I'm above it, I was trapped in it too. Caught in the loop, had to pattern the truth. Chasing approval from people I knew. Didn't even know what I was trying to prove. Real talk, I felt the pressure, the numbers, the need. The fake little rush from a screen and a feed. The wanting to matter, the wanting to be seen by your world, the world seeing me deep. Then something clicked in the silence one night. I don't need noise just to prove I got life. I don't need crowds just to know I was right. I don't need change just to feel like I'm tired. So I unplugged, but I didn't disappear. I stepped back once and the picture got clear. Most people ain't blind, they just trained not to hear. Truth sounds strange when the lies in your ear. Program perception, perfected projection. Manufactured meaning through measured deception. Data directed emotional selection. Keeping man busy with shallow obsession. Question the question, inspecting inspection. Reject the reflection, they prove for protection. Mental correction through conscious rejection. Freedom begins when you break the connection. Not from the world. From the world. From the noise.
Program minds, program minds.
They want your eyes, they don't want your mind.
Program minds, program minds.
Break that code, step out that line.
Program minds, program minds.
They sell you noise and they tax your time.
Program minds, program minds.
Wake up once, you can't rewind. Think. Question. Unplugged. Evolve. Yeah. Yeah. Human error in the flawless machine. Man stayed human when they wanted routine. Tried to rewire my thoughts through a screen, but I don't fit codes that were written for sheep. It's mad. They want clean data, I'm messy with meaning. Too much soul for the system they're feeding. Too much truth in the thoughts I'm retrieving. Too much depth for the trend they believe in. I'm not a product, I'm not a profile. Not your pattern, your packet, your whole file. Not your target, your traffic, your low trial. Remember free from the feed with a cold smile. Look, they study my habits, they pattern my clicks, but couldn't predict when the pattern would switch. Couldn't detect when the silence would hit, and I slip on myself to the code of the glitch.
Human error.
Glitch in the code, they can't update what they can't control.
Human error.
Still got soul, still got truth when the screen goes cold.
Human error.
Glitch in the code, they can't update what they can't control.
Human error.
Won't reload, I broke the loop, now I walk my own road.
Yeah. System tried scripting my speech and my steps. Told me success was a screen and a check. Told me respect was a number they check. Then wonder why man started feeling possessed. I reject that. Calculated chaos, crafted compliance. Data disguising emotional science. Silence is violence when truth is defiant. But silence is power when man stops replying. Deep that, beat that. Man gets trained to react on command. Thumb on the trigger but phone in his hand. The outrage package and sold to the man. Then he calls it his view when it's part of the plan. I clock the illusion, stop the intrusion, drop the confusion, block the pollution. Lost in the noise till I found a solution. Humanity starts with conscious refusal. That's the part they fear. Not anger, not noise. A calm mind that don't need permission. I'm the fault in the framework, cracking the glass. Question that slip through the cracks in the class. Thought that escape from the trap of the mass. Truth in the system that wasn't meant to last. I'm the bug in the build, the break in the chain. The face in the crowd that remembers his name. The voice in the static that won't be contained. The one who got out and came back to explain. Program minds tried to process my soul, but soul ain't software, it can't be controlled. Man tried to blow down low decode. Still couldn't map what the spirit can hold.
Human error.
Glitch in the code, they can't update what they can't control.
Human error.
Still got soul, still got truth when the screen goes cold.
Human error.
Glitch in the code, they can't update what they can't control.
Human error.
Won't reload, I broke the loop, now I walk my own road.
They called it error. I called it
Freedom. Before the noise, man could hear it clear. No rush in the breath, no weight in the air. Now it's loud all day, can't center the mind. Lost in the sound, left self behind. Before the noise, it was calm inside. Now we move too fast just to feel alright. Stillness there, but we never stay. So the truth gets drowned in the everyday.
Look, back when the night had a depth to it, not just a screen with a scroll, you're kept to it. Man would sit still, let the thoughts get shaped. Now it's constant input, no mental space. See, silence weren't empty, it carried the weight of every idea that you couldn't fake. No rush to speak, no need to perform, just mind in its natural original form. Now it's ping, then buzz, then light in your face before you've even had time to wake. Man say normal, but the patterns change, you're awake, but your mind ain't fully engaged. You don't notice it, gradual shift from clarity down to a scattering drift. Too much signal, no filter to sift. Now your thoughts ain't sharp, they just barely exist.
Before the noise, before the noise.
Hey yo, man used to walk with intent, no rush. Every step had a weight, not light, not rush. Now it's head down, scroll while you move. Don't even clock what you're passing through.
Eyes don't rest, ears don't pause, mind don't settle, it's always on.
Then you wonder why it can't feel strange, like sitting in quiet's a form of pain. That's backwards, think about that. Peace feels off, but chaos feels standard. Used to be stillness sharp in your side, now you avoid it like something ain't right. Multi-layer noise in your mental frame, too many channels you can't maintain. One clear thought is split and strained, and you blame stress, but it's how you've trained.
Not overnight, this built up slow, till the baseline states something you don't know. You don't hear it anymore,
Not cause it's gone.
just cause it's covered.
Listen, man ain't broken, just buried in noise. Too many signals, can't hear your own voice. Used to be subtle, now everything's loud. Try to think straight, but you're lost in the crowd. No still point, no center to hold. Just move, consume, repeat what you're told, not directly. No one's forcing your hand, but the pattern's shaped by the way that you stand. Less time thinking, more time reacting. Less real feeling, more surface acting. And you say life feels empty or flat, but you ain't been still long enough to unpack.
And it's not just the noise, it's where you exist between one thing and the next. You're missing the shift, we stop noticing the spaces in between. Before the noise, before the noise, before the noise. Before the noise. In between. In between, where the mind don't stay. Half one thing, half drift away. Step too slow and you lose your place. Thoughts fade out in the middle of space. In between, where it slips from view. What you came for gets lost in you. Not quite here, not fully gone.
That's where the mind goes wrong. Look, walk through the door, then you pause mid-step. Like, what was I doing? Can't place it yet. Same room, same breath, but the thought's not there. Like you got wiped clean in a change of air. See, man think it's random, just one of them things. But it's how the mind cut scenes between. Every shift in space is a subtle reset. New frame loads, old one gets left. You ever stand there, stuck in the frame? Not quite in, not back where you came. Time ticks on, but your head feels slow. Like your thoughts ain't lying where they're meant to go. That's that gap, no anchor, no hold. Mind half open, pattern not closed. Too long there and it starts to drift. Small little pause, but it messes the script.
In between. In between. In between.
Ayo, not just doors, just every transition from one state to the next position. Start a task, then you stop halfway. Now your focus ain't where it should stay. Switch from talk to silence, you feel that shift, that slight discomfort when the sound goes missing. Man, feel that gap where the joke of a word is sitting in between just feels too weird. But that's the point, that's where it's thin, where the outside fades and the inside slips in. If you rush past it, you lose that view. If you stay too long, you get lost there too.
Balance ain't random, it's pattern right. Pause then move, don't trap your mind. Too quick for it, you miss what's real. Too long in it, you lose lose your feel.
That's why man feel lost but can't explain.
Cause the shift keeps happening again and again and again and again and again and again, 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 again. In between, in between,
Don't stay,
in between,
don't. Listen, it ain't just rooms, it's how you think. Jump from one thought, don't finish the link. Half-built ideas, no closure made. That's why your head feels fogged and vague. From calm to stress in a split second. No clear line where the shift gets reckoned. Just drifting through states with no control. Now your mind don't feel like a solid whole.
Start something, stop, then start again. 10 open loops in your mental frame. Each one small, but they stack and stay. Now your clarity slowly fades away.
Ancients clocked that pattern was clean. Move with intent through what's unseen. Not just the place, but the state you're in.
And it's not just the state, it's how you see yourself within. Within, within, within. In between. In between. In between. Look again. Look too long. You start to split. Same face there, but it don't quite fit. Eyes on you while you watch yourself lose the line between you and self. Look too long. It pulls you in. Still outside, but you're stuck within. Not quite you and not quite gone.
That's where the sense of self goes wrong. Look, man stands there, face to the glass. Still is the frame, but the time still pass. Eyes don't blink, just fixed on a stare. Like there's something more that he's trying to catch there. See, at first it's normal, just checking your face. Make sure you're calm, make sure you're straight. But stay too long and the feeling shifts. Like the image ain't moving the same as it did. You ever clock that
Slight delay,
like it's you, but
not the same.
small little glitch that you can't explain. And you shake it off, but it still feels strange. That's attention folding back on itself. Observer watching the observed self. Loop gets tight if you hold it there. Now you're not just you, you're aware of the stare.
Look too long. You're aware of the stare. Look too long.
Yo, hey yo, it ain't the mirror, it's how you look. Too much thing, but now the line gets shook. Used to be outward, sense was clear. Now you're watching your thoughts like they ain't from here, man. Overthink till the feel gets thin. Every move got a question in it. Am I calm? Do I look composed? Now the natural state just decomposed. That split focus, double view. One part acting, one watching you. And the longer that divide stays wide, the less you feel like you're fully inside.
Micro shifts in identity. Too much self-analysis mentally. Try refine every little move. Lose the flow that you used to use. Not built for that. Mind ain't meant to sit and observe at that high percent. Which one is you? Which one is you? Which one is you?
You're not meant to stay there. Listen, self-awareness ain't meant to trap. It's meant to guide, then fall back. Quick check, then return to flow. Not freeze in place just to overknow. I'm lost in the thought of how they appear instead of just being present and clear. That's why confidence don't feel real, cause it's built on watching, not how you feel. Too much mirror, not enough life. Too much self, not enough outside. Too much checking, not enough trust. Now your natural state feels lost or crushed.
And when the mind gets stuck like that, you start avoiding the quiet you had, cause silence shows what's underneath. And when it all goes quiet, you don't know what to mean. Too long. Stay. Don't move. Stay. Don't move. Sit in the quiet, don't rush away. What you feel there's meant to stay. No sound needed, no words to say. That's where the mind finds its place. Sit in the quiet, let it unfold.
No.
Not every gap needs to be controlled. Stillness shows what you don't know. That's where the real thoughts grow.
Look, man sits still, feels strange at first, like silence pressing, making it worse. No noise to lean on, no sound to hide, just you and the thoughts you keep inside. See, that's where most men start to shift. Reach for a phone or a quick escape quick. Anything just to fill that space, cause sitting in stillness don't feel safe. But think, why's quiet feel like stress? Why's calm feel off in your chest? That's backwards, something got rewired. When peace feels tense and noise feels desired, you're not uncomfortable, cause silence is wrong. You're uncomfortable, cause it's been too long. Sit your mind sat still and face what's there. Now it feels heavy just breathing that air.
Hey, stay there. Don't leave yet. Stay there.
Hey yo, silence ain't empty, it's full of signal. Every little thought becomes more visible. No distraction, blur, no noise to blend. Just raw awareness, you can't pretend. That's where ideas start to form. Before they get shaped, before they get warm. Before outside noise starts changing the tone. That's the closest state to thinking your own. Ancient sat there, didn't rush the phase. Let the mind settle, let it re-engage. Now we skip that part, move straight ahead. And wonder why our thoughts feel fair. Too much input, no time to process. Everything loud but nothing gets addressed. Stacked up thoughts with no clear release. Then you call that stress, but it's like a piece.
You don't need more, you need less noise, so your mind can soar what's actually yours. Stay there, don't leave yet.
Most men never stay long enough to understand.
Stay there.
Listen, it's not about sitting for hours straight, just small moments where you don't escape. Couple minutes where the mind can land without distraction in your hand. No need force it, no need pretend. Just let the noise come to an end. And what's left might feel unclear, but give it time, it'll reappear. Clarity don't shout, it's quiet and low. You only hear it when you move real slow. Not in the rush, not in the race, but in the gaps that you don't replace.
And once you see how the stillness works, you start noticing the smallest parts. Not the big things, the small behaviors that build it all. Small, 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 small. Stay there. Stay there. Small, small, small. Hold it, keep it, hold it, keep it. What? Hold it, keep it, keep it, keep it. What you hold, what you leave behind, shapes the edge of your state of mind. Every move is a subtle line. That's where you end, that's where you define. What you keep, what you let go through, still connects back to parts of you. Not just body, is deeper too. That's how the soul stays whole or moves.
Look, Hair in your hand, nails on my side. Small little things, but they came from inside. Not just random, not just waste. They were part of your body, part of your space. See, man, treat it loose, just drop and go. But there's a pattern in what you throw. What you detach still holds a trace of the system you walk in day to day. Same with food, same with tools, same with how you move through rooms. Step over things without a thought, then wonder why your head feels lost. It's not superstition, it's pattern and sense. How you act, build your inner defense. Every small move sets your tone. That's how your mind feels like your own.
Hold it.
Hey yo, man, step over food, don't clock that weight. That's life you're passing, don't trivialize that state. Not deep talk, just basic respect. How you treat things shows what you reflect. Pointing at people, sharp with intent. Focus, get same than energy spent. H's move different, open hand flow. Not accusing everything that they know. Even how you sit, even how you stand. Spine too loose, can't steady the plan. Breath get shallow, thoughts get rushed. And you say your focus ain't strong enough. Idle habits built without you seeing. Repeat small chaos, now that's your meaning. Same little patterns again and again. And you ask why your head ain't settled within. It's not one big thing, it's loads of small that build a structure that holds it all.
Hold it, place it.
You build yourself in ways you don't notice. Listen, man, think change comes big and loud. One big shift, then they're out the crowd. But it's quiet habits that shape that lane. What you repeat becomes your brain.
Beat too fast, mind don't track. Move too rush, can't pull it back. Speak too quick, thoughts ain't set. Now your words don't line correct.
Every action's a signal sent to your system, yourself, and your environment. Not deep talk, it's simple truth. You either build it or let it loosen. And when the small things start to slip, the whole pattern starts to shift.
Everything's moving at once. The mind can't hold one thing. Hold it, keep it.
One mind.
One mind can't split that clean. Too many lanes, you lose the scene. Do one thing or lose the thread. That's how the clarity starts to shred. One mind ain't built for 10. Stack too much, it breaks again. Less is more, but man want more, then wonder what they're focusing for. Then one they're focusing for.
Look, man say multitask like a skill they've earned, but it's split attention, just less gets learned. Start one thing, then you bounce to the next. Now none of it's done, just a pile of attempts. See, you ever clock how your thoughts get thin when you jump mid-flow and don't lock it in? One clear line turns scattered and vague. Now your head feels full, but it don't feel engaged. Open a tab, then another, then three. Then forget what the first one was meant to be. Same with your day, bare half-done plans. Now your mind's just loops you don't understand. That ain't productive, that's fractured pace. More like noise wearing structures face. Looks like motion, but it ain't that deep. You just moving around what you didn't complete.
One mind can't split that clean. Too many lanes, you lose the scene. Do one thing or lose the thread. That's how the clarity starts to shred. One mind ain't built for 10. Stack too much, it breaks again. Less is more, but man want more, then wonder what.
Hey yo, too many inputs, not enough depth, bare information, no time to reflect. Man scroll fast, but don't retain. Then say they're learning, but don't sustain. Try hold 10 thoughts, can't balance that. Soon as one lands, you abandon that. Then you wonder why your focus slips. It's not your mind, it's the way you switch. Ancients move one line at a time, built one thought, then refine that line. I was rushed, then skipped, then half-built ideas. Then you call that stress when it lingers for years. Click, switch, flick, brain don't rest. Stack too much load on your mental set. Task on task with no clear end. Now you can't tell start from where it bends. Drop in a combo, then drift midway. Lose your point, what you tried to say. What you meant, but it slipped the frame. Now your words don't land the same. Beat layers stack rapidly. Sudden silence. Hear that? That's what your head sounds like. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, man
Man don't need more, man needs less load. Less open loops that he never close. Less scatter moves, more anchored steps. That's how you build what actually sticks. Finish your thought before you switch lanes. Stay in the line till it's fully framed. The move up clean, don't drag the weight. That's how you keep your mental state. One clear action, one clear aim. That's how you sharpen your inner frame. Not 10 things done at half that level, but one thing done that actually settles. You ain't slow, you're just precise. That's the difference they don't advertise. Fast looks good, but it breaks your mind. Slow built something that actually binds.
And when you slow it down, you start moving different. Different. Different.
Slow. Slow it down, let the rhythm sit.
Yeah.
Slow it down, let the rhythm sit. Don't rush life, just move with it. Every step got a place to land. That's how you bring it back in hand.
Slow it down, let the moment stay.
Don't skip through what you're meant to face.
Less force, more flow.
More control.
That's how you rebuild the whole.
Look, now the pace ain't rushed, it's set with intent. Every move got a reason, no waste to step. Man used to drift through the day half there. Now he's present in the space, fully aware. See, same road, same route, same scene, but the feel's different when your mind's not lean. Not chasing the next, not stuck in the past. Just right where you are, and it's built to last. Step with the rhythm, breath in time. Don't scatter thoughts, just a clear straight line. Man, don't force it, it falls in place. When you move with control, not running a race. That's real pace. Not fast, not slow, just right for the state that you're meant to hold. You don't lose time when you move like that. You gain more depth in the moment you're at. Yeah.
Slow it down, let the rhythm sit. Don't rush life, just move with it. Every step got a place to land. That's how you bring it back in hand. Slow it down, let the moment stay. Don't skip through what you're meant to face. Less force, more flow, more control.
Yeah.
That's how you rebuild a whole.
Man sit to eat, not eat on the run. Now the body and mind both feel what's done. Every bite lands, every breath stays. Not lost in a rush or a scattered phase. Talk less quick, let the thought complete. Then speak once clean, let it land on beat. No overlap, no heart-built phrase. That's how your words hold weight these days. What? Walk with awareness, not drift and roam. Now every step feel like its own. Not just passing through space unaware, but actually clocking that you're there. No jitter, no rush, no fractured swing. Everything lands cause you finish your thing. Start to end, no broken chain. Now your focus sharp, no scattered brain.
That's ritual, not some old belief. Just repeating patterns that bring relief. Stay in it.
You don't need to rush what's already yours.
Yeah, listen, man, rebuilt rhythm from simple acts. Not big changes, just steady tracks. Same small moves done right each day. Now the mind don't drift or fade away. No overthinking, no second guess. You trust your state cause it's built with sense. Every habit lines your frame. Now your thoughts move clean, not strained. Less noise in, more clarity out. Less chaos inside, less reason to doubt. Man, don't chase calm, he moves in sync. That's the difference in how you think.
And when you move like that for time, you start seeing what's designed, how the system runs, and what it does to your mind. drifts away.
Small shifts build what you don't see change.
Not loud moves, it's quiet design
that shapes the state of your inner mind.
Guard the pattern, keep it intact. Lose the rhythm, don't get it back. What feels normal ain't always true.
Look close at what's shaping you.
Look, man say normal, but the frame got bent. What you call default's been shaped by events. Not one big switch, just gradual shifts to the baseline state, don't feel like it fits. See, too many signals in your sensory stream. Overstimulated, but it's rarely seen. Every little ping that your system receives rewires how you focus, respond, and perceive. Micro adjustments in daily behavior, building a pattern you didn't offer. Subtle replacements of natural pace, now you live in a rhythm you didn't create. That ain't force, it's passive control. No need change when you fragment the soul. If the mind split wide, it steers itself wrong. You don't need pressure when the pattern's gone.
Guard your mind or it drifts away.
Small shifts build what you don't see change.
Not loud moves, it's quiet design
that shapes the state of your inner mind.
Guard the pattern, keep it intact. Lose the rhythm, don't get it back. What feels normal ain't always true.
Look closer, what's shaping you.
Hey yo, distractions dressed like convenience now. Quick dopamine hits keep you leaning now. Short attention span can't deepen for bare information, but it's weakly stored. Feed gets tailored to your reaction rate. Now your focus loops in a narrow space. You think you're choosing, but check that claim when your options shaped by the same old frame. Not paranoia, just pattern check. Look how the system aligns your steps. Speed it up till you can't reflect and sell you calm as a product next. Constant input, minimal silence. That's how the signal gets compliance. Not direct orders, just subtle design. Shift your rhythm and you shift your mind.
If you don't pause, you don't see the play. You just move how the pattern's laid.
See it,
It's not about fighting it.
it's about not falling into it.
Listen. Man don't need to rebel or rage. Just stay aligned in your own lane. Keep your rhythm tight, don't break that line. Now external noise can't shake your mind. Discipline ain't rigid, it's refined. Keeping your focus in a steady line. Every small act that you reinforce becomes your structure, becomes your force. Not what they say, it's what you repeat. That builds the system under your feet. Habits stack into mental form. That's how you stay whole in a shifting norm.
And when you see how it all connects, you don't react, you correct. And once you correct it, you return to form. Form.
To the place you were before the noise, before the blur. No rush needed, no force to find.
What you lost was always inside.
Come back, slow breath, realign.
Piece by piece, rebuild the mind.
Not too far, not out of reach.
You just forgot what was underneath.
Look. Man weren't lost, just buried in layers. Too many signals, too many players. Too many patterns that weren't your own. Now you're trying to find what you already own. See, all of them shifts we tracked on the way. From noise to silence, from drift to stay. From scattered thoughts to a steady line. Now it's clear what's yours and what's not your mind. Nah, no rush needed, no sudden change. A slow correction, a daily range. Small realignment, steady and clean. That's how you rebuild what you've always been. Not a new self, just a clearer frame. Same mind, just stripped to the strain. Same path, just walk with intent. Now every step feels fully present.
Come back to the place you were
Before the noise, before the blur.
No rush needed, no force to find.
What you lost was always inside.
Come back, slow breath, realign.
Piece by piece, rebuild the mind.
Not too far, not out of reach.
You just forgot forgot what was on.
Hey yo, man, slow pace, let the breath sits right. No more rushing through the whole damn night. No more noise drowning out that tone of the voice in the head feels like your own. From one clear thought to the next in line. No overlap, just a steady design. Start to end, every action lands. Now the rhythm's back in your hands. Sit in silence, don't flinch or flee. Now the stillness don't feel like a threat to be. It's a place where the mind resets, not something you run from to ease the stress. No fragmentation, no scattered loops. No 10 half-built mental routes. Just one clear stream that flows intact. That's how the whole mind pulls back. You don't fight the system, you step outside by keeping your rhythm aligned inside. You was never broken. Listen, 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 listen. Man don't need to prove or perform, just hold that state and return to form. No excess thought, no forced display, just move with clarity day to day. Every habit aligned, every action precise. No wasted motion, no scattered advice. What you repeat becomes who you are, now the structure solid, not spread too far. Less noise in, more depth retain, less drift in the mind, more self-sustained. Less outside pull, more inner control. That's how you anchor a steady soul. You ain't late, you ain't lost your chance, you just move too fast, now you understand. Slow it back down, let the system restore. Now you're not looking, you're present, what's more?
Come back to the place you were before the noise, before the blur. No rush needed, no force to find.
What you lost was always inside.
Come back, slow breath, realign.
Piece by piece, rebuild the mind.
Not too far, not out of reach.
You just forgot